Wheel of Time is finally back with Season 2, and we have 3 episodes to discuss. As you may remember, the first season left us clueless about what will happen in the future, and I had some question marks in my mind, especially about Rand and Moiraine. Because we learned that Rand didn't beat the Dark One for good, and it was only the first battle. Also, Moraine's powers are shielded and she can't touch the Source anymore. I believe this season will be even more intriguing, and I'm really excited for it. For now, we have 3 episodes, so without further ado, let's begin with the first episode of Season 2. In this episode, we get to see what happened to Moiraine after her powers are shielded. I can say that she looks defeated, but Moiraine, I know, wouldn't give up on her powers like that, so we know that she'll try every possible way to touch the Source once again. We learn that she has some visitors from time to time, and the last one has what she's been looking for. A poem written in the old tongue with blood. After she buys the poem, the visitor tells her that some people with black hoods have been following him. As she tells him what to do to get rid of them, she knows that they've been following him just to find Moiraine. Meanwhile, we see that Lon is angry at her because she refuses to talk to him about what she's up to. Later that night, she goes outside on her own and Lon decides to find her even though he has no idea where she is. I'm glad he decided to go after her because she ends up fighting with Fades. As Lon and Moiraine get injured, thankfully, their friends show up and save them. Now let's see what's happening at the White Tower. We see that Nynaeve and Egwene are back, and they're working hard to become Aes Sedai. But we learn that Nynaeve hasn't been able to channel after she almost died and came back to life thanks to Egwene. She's a powerful woman, and she needs to find her true nature through her journey to become an Aes Sedai, but she's too proud to ask for help. At this point, our red sister Liandrin decides to push her limits, and she somehow manages to make her understand that she's capable of getting even better. We also learn that Liandrin has been keeping Mat, and nobody actually knows he's alive. I think that's the right thing to do, because his friends will get emotional after seeing him, and they won't understand how dangerous he really is. He is all about trouble, and I feel like he'll do something we won't be able to comprehend. In this episode, we also have a short scene that shows Rand to make us sure that he will be with us in this season too. I wonder when he'll show up because I know for a fact that Egwene is missing him so much. Also, we know Perin is doing well. He even wrote a letter to Egwene and Nynaeve to keep in touch. In episode 2, we see how Rand is doing. Apparently, he stays away from his loved ones to keep them safe, and he tries to make a different life for himself somewhere. He works in a psychiatric hospital, and the reason gets revealed at the end of this episode. It's to find Logain since they share the same experience. You may remember that he said he felt the madness because of his powers, and he's scared of what he may be capable of doing. So, I guess a moment with Logain might help him to understand what awaits him in the future. We also see that Perin and the others are still following Elias's guidance to find Peyton, but instead, they find a house. As they carefully approach, Perin sees a vision of the past that shows what actually happened there. His eyes turn into a yellowish color, and he can't differentiate vision and reality. I don't know what his deal is, but I think it should be revealed soon because his powers have been shown to us since the first season, and we all need some answers. In the White Tower, Liandrin wants Nynaeve on her side since she has some incredible powers. No matter what, I just can't trust Liandrin. Don't ask me why, it's just a hunch. I feel like Nynaeve accepting this offer would be a huge mistake, but I guess we'll see. By the way, there's a new novice called Elaine, and she's the daughter heir of Andor. She seems pretty friendly, but I can say that Egwene has no interest in her, at least at first. I think they will be good friends through the end of this season. In fact, I can say that Egwene overshares her feelings about Nynaeve while sharing a drink with Elaine. Even though she doesn't accept it, deep down she's jealous that Nynaeve gets all the attention. Meanwhile, Moiraine, Lon, and their friends decide to pay a visit to the White Tower, and we learn that they all know about the Dragon Reborn. Fortunately, they are on Moraine's side on this. Seeing Moiraine is not alone relieved me. This woman has been through a lot, and she definitely needs some support from others. We also learn how Lon and Moiraine met for the first time. They both weren't sure about each other since they thought they were enemies, but look at them now. They have this incredible bond only an Aes Sedai and her warder can have. Moiraine finally tells him what happened earlier and says that since the seal is broken, Ishamael is free now and the last battle is getting closer. Back in the White Tower, we see that Mat is up to some shenanigans. He uses a spoon to remove the brick so that he can flee his cell, but he finds another cell to his luck and he meets a woman called Mean. They start working together and successfully get rid of a few bricks that were separating their cells. I can feel the trouble those two will cause, and I definitely don't trust them. I mean,
Mean's vision of Matt and Rand was scary as hell,
but if she chooses to be silent in the future, I don't know what will happen. Last but not least, let's talk about Perin. He finds himself in the middle of a fight while sleeping. One thing leads another, and in result, he is taken to a different place where he'll see the Queen and Ishmael. And now, it's time to talk about the third episode. This one starts with Nynaeve, and she's asked to go through an arch 3 times to prove herself. In this test, she will face her greatest fears, and the scary part is the fact that some women never made it out and they got lost. The first 2 challenges were rough, but the third one was something else. She thought she got out, but in fact, she didn't. And now she is stuck in the portal, even though she has no knowledge about that. Rest of the Aes Sedais accept her death, but I don't think she'll die out there. She almost died 2 times now, and I can't see why she can't return to life once again. Then we see Perin and the others. Everyone is forced to take the oath and bow to Lady Surith, and I can say that we had some unexpected, brutal, and bloody scenes. I can say that Season 2 will be much more brutal than the previous one, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely ready for it. In the next scene, we see Rand spending some time with Logan. All he wants is a tiny bit of hope about his fate, but I don't think he can get it from Logan since we all know what has happened to him. The power he held drove him crazy eventually, but I feel like that won't happen to Rand. At least I hope so. After that, we see Egwene learning of Nynaeve's death and she wants to do something about it, but we all know that there's nothing she can do to save her. Anyways, she's not the only one who gets devastated. We see Liandrin feels terrible because she was busy with Matt and she couldn't focus on Nynaeve. She decides to set Matt free, and she suggests him to visit Egwene since she's going through the grief of a close friend. But well, Matt is Matt, so he decides to release Min and run away together. But there's a twist here, because we see that Min is actually working with Liandrin, so we know that she will try to stop him whatever he's planning to do in the future. As for the ending, we see that Nynaeve finally manages to get out, and thankfully, Egwene was waiting for her to get out. She's not dead after all, and I don't think this talented woman will ever die in this show. She's too powerful to be defeated. Now, that's all from me now, but I'll return with a prediction video about the upcoming episode, so you might want to subscribe. Tell me what you think about the first 3 episodes of Season 3 in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. See you in another The Wheel of Time video.